I like showing off my base when there's lots of people. Showing off the automation stuff that I've been doing. Because we've got the cows up here. The cows are for the Gourmaryllis. So the Polydesiac up there is breeding the cows, and they're dropping down in here, which creates XP. Because I'm close, I'm attracting this bit. There we go. The XP drops down. There's a Rosa Arcana there in the middle that is absorbing XP and sending it to this pool, which feeds the Polydesiac. It's not keeping up as well as I want. But that is that one. So we've seen the Spectralist automation here. When I do have a Spectralist flower, it goes there. And every 10 seconds, a redstone line starts here and goes this way and goes up. And what it does is it places, these are containers, it places the wool in the container, which is attached to a hopper, and it just drops it in the correct order, because the Spectralist needs to eat wool in a certain order. It drops the wool in the correct order to produce the maximum amount of mana, and it produces a lot of mana. That's the Spectralist flower. And then this is one of the ones that's fully automated. We have the hydrangeas here that are consuming water in the pool. And I've got 12 of them here that are going, there's a mana pool up there. And this is every 5 minutes, it requests one from the network. There, it just did. One of these should die shortly. And when it does, this one will take its place. Been working hard to learn new stuff. You're right, Darkwing. I am very proud of my base so far. It's been a very huge learning curve with all the redstone that I'm not familiar with. So this way is all my farms, like crop type farms. We've got a potato farm here. And we have 421 stacks of potatoes. We need like thousands and thousands of potatoes. And then I've got a sugarcane farm here, which this is full. So any other sugarcane that currently gets harvested is just being wasted. But this sugarcane, and then I've got the miscellaneous, so we've got netherwort, beets, and carrots. Minecraft is cool 33, thank you for the follow. So I have all of that being done in this little farm. And then I have an almost complete three-tier wheat farm, which this is probably filling up, yeah. So we've got that. It's not done on the 3rd tier yet. I kind of abandoned working on it any further for a while. So there's that. And this is not fully automated yet, but it will be at some point. But we have a giant mushroom farm that will be fully automated. I have all of the mana turned off. But it grows the brown mushrooms, and then I have bore lenses on the elven mana spreaders that actually rotate all the way around. And they get the cap, they chop the cap off, and then these work like my tree farm and they take the stalk out. I'm gonna take these out and actually use a force relay to take out, it'll save mana and it'll save resources. But I also have behind these two mossy living wood blocks are passive mushroom farms. They're just the dark room spawners that have observer blocks to detect when a mushroom is grown in a spot, and then a sticky piston that fast pulses to break it, and it gets picked up and put in here. So that is these that are kind of keeping up. That's as far as I have down this way. So that's what I have for farming so far there. And then if we go here, this is my bulk rune crafting. So when I need like 10 summer runes or whatever for my Gourmaryllis, I can put all the resources in here. Each dropper needs a separate item, and stick the sand in the hourglass and push the button, and it will go through and craft and craft and craft until it's used up all of its resources to give me runes. So that's my automated crafting of that. This is automated living rock crafting, and it turns itself off when it reaches this level. So it's currently off, but if I were to take some out, it would turn it back on again. And up here, this is my Endaflame farm. I've got 12 of these, so every 5 minutes it requests one from the network. And I have back here, I've got one furnace, and there's the wood, and the furnace turns it into coal, charcoal. So that's how that works. And the exoflames are what are running the furnace. And I still have the setup back here that I haven't taken down. This is how I was automating the flowers before I had Corporea. Tree farm is down here. So we have a very early game tree farm set up. The Rancarpus places the saplings. I have agrocarnations here that speed up the growth of the trees, and when the tree grows, these bore lenses bounce back and forth and break the logs. This is also where we're going to eventually have the Munchdew to eat the leaves. And then the last thing I have down this way is a living wood farm, and it appears, yeah, it's turned off right now. It's got a full chest, so it's turned off, but when I take living wood out of there, it will craft more. So that is what I've got going on here. And then on this side of the Endaflames are the thermal lilies. Okay, so we have 4 thermal lilies running, so this one will request a thermal lily every 15 minutes. From the network, and I still have all of this I need to tear out yet. This was when I was crafting them here instead of from the network. And if you go through here, this is how we get lava from the nether. Thank you for the follow! I appreciate it. Thank you. So the buckets, when they place the lava, are dropped down underneath here, and they're picked up by the flower that's over here into this dispenser, which is on a timer, dispenses them into the nether. Okay, so it sends the empty buckets in here. And then in here, we have a way to pick them up. We pick them up and we put them in a cart somewhere. One of these two picks them up and puts them in the cart. This one is for empty buckets. So the one that's for full buckets is over here. Okay. So we pick up the empty buckets that came through and put them on a cart and go that way with it. And they also come up here with the lava buckets. And this one picks up the full buckets and spits them back into the portal when they're full. And, oops, here, have a bucket. Down here, this was fun to figure out, but we have the automated picking up of lava here. So this is our infinite pool, which there's a giant lake out there. I just have it blocked off to keep things from getting in there. It drops the empty bucket that it picked up, and this hopperhawk picks it up and puts it in here and uses the comparator detector for the dispenser to know whether or not it should fill the bucket with lava. And then when it's full of lava, it detects a different step. And so then it drops it, and this one picks it up, and then it goes right back up on its merry way. So this is that. Try not to bump the carts because I've done that before and it's not been good. This is to keep zombies from doing that. So that's that. Alright, so that's how I keep the dispensers full of lava. I'm not sure why there's no... I must need to make some more buckets. Every once in a while, the chunks desync and I lose buckets. That's the only challenge I have with that. So, yeah. And then if we go downstairs here, We've been down here for the tree farm, but this is my bulk auto cobbleworks, which isn't fully auto. I have this water block that keeps disappearing. The current problem. But it makes random other blocks when this is not desynced, which it looks like it is again. And that's a known problem with this mod. The Orchids mod, it's a known problem, so nothing I can do about that. But it makes these different blocks. So it gets stone, cobblestone. I need to turn this off. Why are you have... There we go. Do I have the key? I need to make sure that stays sand. There we go. How many hours of work? The redstone's the hardest part for me. So, yep. Let's find out. How many hours? I've played almost 9 days. I don't AFK here, so none of that is AFK hours. I don't just idle in the game. So yeah, I make sand out of cobble, and then the sand comes over here and it makes glass. So that's our bulk cobbleworks. Over here is my bulk crafting with the alchemy catalyst and the conjuration catalyst. Really simple. True, time out of game learning, yep. Down here is a basic tree farm. This one is my self-planted tree farm. Over here is my petal crafting hall. So I can get petals of all of the flowers. It's automatically done. We hop back here. You can see I've got it using comparator, detecting how much is in the chest. And this is a clock here that when the redstone doesn't come up to here, it'll tick and request more flowers to craft more petals. Which there's my flower farm here, which is automatically run and picked up as well. And got a timer back there to run those mana spreaders to hit the drum of the wild to break the flowers. We got petal hall. We've got our flint crafter here. It takes gravel and places it, and then this bore lens breaks the gravel to try to get flint. And it'll just keep placing the gravel as long as it doesn't have enough flint, which I have 593 right now, so yay. And then we have a clay maker, which is pretty much this clayconia flower takes placed blocks of sand and turns it into clay balls. So that's all this is doing. And then we have our flower crafting, which we just watched it make a thermalily. We have flower crafting in here for all 16 that we're going to need to automatically craft. I have 4 of them done. We have the hydrangea, the endoflame, the thermalily, and the rosa arcana. Back here is the corporea red stone. That's for the rosa arcana right here. These containers are all bound to that dropper. So it's the same principle. I'm detecting how many are in the network. There's 16 with the comparator. And when the signal strength falls below the amount that it needs to hold on hand, this hourglass rotates every 2 minutes, 20 seconds, every 20 seconds. And if it can tick, it'll tick all of those funnels to request the items from the network and craft a flower. So that's how that works. And like I said, I've got 4 done. I'm not sure why these are down to only 4. They shouldn't be. They should be at 16. That's a concern. These are shorter. That would be why the detection length is shorter. I would need to make them a little longer. It's only 1, 2, 4. Okay, so it's fine. 4 is fine. Okay, so then we've got that, and I have my water bucket, because you need a water bucket for each flower. I have my water bucket filler here. This is exactly the same as the one in the nether, but does water. So it's the same redstone. It picks up the empty buckets according to the timer ticks. the full buckets are down here. So that's how I keep water buckets filled for using the Petal Apothecary. And then the most amazing thing that I've done that I'm really proud of, because it does not exist in tutorials anywhere, so I had to come up with it myself. It's not in tutorials. I looked really hard. I even asked Vazky, and Vazky's like, no, I've not seen any. So that is over here, all of this glorious redstone and corporea for automating the runic altar using corporea and wireless redstone via corporea. So we have 4 runes currently automated. We have earth, fire, air, and mana runes being crafted right now. And the way that works here, which it took me a very long time in a creative world to figure out. Here, we know that when a runic altar is crafting, when it's got a crafting, it sends out a certain comparator strength. When it is completed crafting and needs to be hit with the wand of the forest to complete, it sends out another different signal. So that's what we're going based on, is based on the comparator signal of the altar. And that's what this red string comparator can read from this far away. So I've got it so that with 1 signal strength, it goes to this funnel and says, lime green petal block. And I'll explain to you what it means in a second. So it's saying, hey, give me a lime green petal block. And then when it gets to we're done crafting, it goes through a pulse generator, a 1-tick pulse generator here, so that it's not a solid signal, it just pulses, and it pulses this way and says lime green, wand of the forest, and then lime green petal. Now I'm using these because we're in a red network, that's what this red star means, and there's nothing in that network. So when it does this, these funnels are saying, give me a lime green wand of the forest, and the network is saying, that doesn't exist. Okay, so keep that in mind. This lime green petal, that doesn't exist in the red network, okay? We're using that to control other steps, and that's the wireless redstone. The steps that we're using that in is, here's the lime green petal block, in an interceptor. An interceptor only sends out a signal when a funnel can't find what it's looking for. So since it can't find what it's looking for, this sends out a pulse. And it goes into this retainer, which remembers that this sent out a pulse. And this sends out a solid signal, and sends out a solid signal until it gets a second pulse of redstone. So it's going over here to trigger this piston. Okay. And then this petal turns it off. This piston is the crafting process of the rune. Okay, so this decides whether or not this hourglass, when it flips over, will actually craft a rune or not. Will request a crafting method. Right now, I've got enough, so this piston has got the block pulled out of the way, so it won't go and request one. And this says, this is how many we have, 32. When it has 32, don't craft anymore. Okay, so it overrides this step so that we're not crafting too many. And I have them for all of the runes down here, but that's what I have. That took forever to come up with, because the only thing I've ever seen in tutorials is up there, that stuff. Let's see if I can get up there now that I've been doing a bunch of digging. Can I get up there? Okay. Up here is a lot like, it's like the Petal Apothecary. So it does the recipe crafting, and it does it based on that interceptor right there, which is requested underneath this layer. The one that has the rune on it up here. So when it goes through a crafting process, it places them right here on the luminizer launcher, and then this line comes in and fires the luminizer launcher and sends all the items down to the runic altar. So that's the way that works. And trust me, this was insane for me to learn. And if there's a more compact method, oh well, I've learned the redstone, this is how it's going. So that's how I have the start of all of these being crafted. The decorating in here is going to be all of this multiple black colored walls. It's going to look like the universe with a bunch of stars in it. These are going to be the stars. So it'll look like you're standing in like a universal planetarium or whatever with a bunch of stars. Because there's going to be at least 2 stars per runic altar for each one. So I'm extremely proud of learning how to do this. So that's why I went through it again. I think that's everything, guys. Can you think of anything? Oh wait, no, I have an iron farm, which is a vanilla iron farm, but I've got an iron farm now. Outdoors. I think that's all I have running. I think that's everything. Yes, Botania is a tech mod. It's always been a tech mod. Most people don't believe it. So there's my iron farm up there, and I have a villager breeder over there a distance. So, okay, I can still hear them. I'm like, sometimes I'm concerned if they're gonna actually still be there. But yeah, I'm extremely proud of what I've done so far, and I have so much more to do. I've only ever seen one other person playing this pack, and that is 4-ounce Scoop. He is not currently playing this pack anymore, but I am. I'm on the curse page for the pack now. When you're done with this pack, this world will be like a reference manual for any automated Botania in the pack. Yes, it will be. I'll be like, how did I do that in this one? Yep. Oh, I didn't show you guys my crafting haul. Hermes, been knocking stuff over. Yeah, okay, so I've got mana. This is my enchanting room. I haven't used it a whole bunch, and this is one of the areas we need to put a ceiling in. So we've got mana enchanting, and then this is the crafting hall. This is all automation for crafting requests. We can automatically craft, and the setups are pretty much the same as everywhere else. We've got the comparator with a clock, and when it gets to that point, the clock can't tick anymore. Okay. So that's the way I have practically all of these. These are regular mana crafting. We can make mana diamonds, mana glass, mana pearls, mana steel, and mana powder all automatically, and we are keeping a certain supply on hand. And then these are conjuration catalysts, so these are duping. This will dupe coal, dupe gravel, and dupe netherrack. And then the alchemy catalyst converts, so it's converting flint into gunpowder, it's converting wool into string, and converting terracotta into red sand. That's what we have going on here. And this is regular crafting. This is non-mana needed crafting over here. So we're taking sugarcane and turning it into sugar. This one is the petals, the light blue petals. We're turning it into the powder. And that is what we're using to get mana powder. Then we're doing the coal into blocks of coal, and netherrack into nether bricks, and cooking steak and potatoes. These are for the gorillas. So we're doing that. We're taking black wool and turning it into black carpet, and we're taking clay balls and turning them into clay blocks, and then we're taking the clay blocks and turning them into terracotta. All the same way, all the same method back here with mana. This one's going to be for... What did I have that one going to be? One of the other things that are just drop mana into a pool. And I don't remember what it is now. Oh, mana quartz. Need mana quartz. And we'll need it for the Rune of Lust. So that's what that's going to be for. And that's as far as we'll need to go for that. I don't have the Terra Steel automated because I haven't had to make any since I made my armor. It's not needed any recipes really. So, yeah. We have our Orchid automated over here. I have it turned off because it uses a lot of mana. But this is a stone generator and it just changes these blocks to an ore, and then every couple of minutes, that's why I have it even slower, every couple of minutes it breaks the blocks and the hopper hawk here picks them up and sorts them. Things that need to be smelted go here, things that need to go in storage go here, and underneath this I have a spectranthemum flower which teleports items up to 12 blocks away. So everything that's dropped out of this chest gets teleported over here somewhere where there's a slave for the drawers, and it drops into that. And everything that needs to be smelted takes a ride on these luminizers that you see and gets sent over to these hoppers, and it gets smelted and put in this chest. Which eventually I'll have this chest hooked up to the storage, but I don't. Oh, yep. This path is brand new. This is the direction towards the Gormarillis that we're going to have 6 of. I've got just the one running right now. And it alternates between the potatoes and the steak to generate mana. So this is new, what we've just put together. And this is the flower crafting. You can make 4 more. One of these have summer runes in it. Yep. So there we go. Summer runes are what we were working on this week, getting resources for. That's what the clay, terracotta, red sand, that's what all those are for. Any questions? I think I've shown you everything other than like my input mana lines and my output mana lines, but those aren't really necessary. I did separate them for a reason so they wouldn't get confused. But our mana bank should slowly be refilling. I'm gonna get something to drink right now. All right. So, the next bit of building we should work on. Let's see. We still have a little bit of acacia. Maybe we should work on that hall some more. I do love giving tours though, so I apologize if I like ran off into let's just show you everything I've done. We're doing this side. And I know I'm gonna need there. But what am I gonna do here? I'll have to figure that out. Okay, and then I know I'm gonna need one here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. That'll be it because we actually are out of vacation now. Tour brought you out of lurk mode. All this wool floating around because the chests are full. And I haven't decided if I'm gonna set this up as a doorway to the outside or not. I don't know. Okay. Let's use up some more of the blocks we have on hand. Let's use these up. Do we have stairs? To craft some stairs. There we go. Okay. And we'll do some of this. Stop mobs from coming in that way. Well, I haven't had that problem just yet. I mean, that might be where that zombie came from that was wanting my villager. That's possible. Alright. Ooh, we get to figure out one that's only 4. We're gonna need to put another acacia block there. And let's see. One that's only 4. We could do what I've been doing before. Some of that. And then okay. This one was this with the blocks, which we're going to need more of. And then the coral reef. I think you know what might be nice? It seems a bit dark. I wonder. I don't want to use mana. Maybe I do. Let's look at the elf glass. Because it's got that green tint that might bring out the coral. And it would light up the space. What do we think? I don't mind it, actually. I think it looks pretty nice. We'll be able to go through and break these torches and figure out if we need the light in the middle at all. There. Okay, so let's do this side. What should we do here? I need more polished andesite. That is stone. glass. Whoops. And then what will we put right there? Sure. The hall has pretty unsaturated palette, and glass adds a bit of color, but not too much. You're right. You're right. So I wanted a pretty unsaturated palette for this haul. I wanted it to be muted, considering our last haul that we did for the farms is really vibrant colors. Really bright and flashy. Alright, so this is another 4 into... Whoops. That, and is it smooth? Smooth. Okay. Hide some of the color in the corals. And brings out the color that I like, the teal color. So yeah. Alright. Good. We are almost at a coral. Let's go make sure we're still generating some every so often. If that water needs to be placed again. Or if it became unbound, it's out of water again. Really need to fix that. That is still bound. And we have 3 more. Woo! Okay. How do you make the coral? It's one of the Orchids. From the Orchids mod. It's a special orchid. It converts stone into some of its random variants. It makes any of these variants that I have in here. Like there, just made some red sandstone. It's this one, the Floating Orchid Petrum. Does that for me. So yeah. We're out of sand. So yeah, I will never have a ton of it, which is why I want to use it just as a accent, because I won't have a whole lot of it. That flower, that orchid is buggy. Buggy. We're going to be doing that several times here. So we'll run out of coral this next time. We'll have to wait to do more of the coral until I have this one at the angle I don't want to do. Here's that. Look at this flat spot I do. Okay. And in place. And then this one will do the same. alternate them with non-coral panels? I definitely could do that. It was the purple stuff we were using in Substitute, weren't we? Until we had the coral. You. Dang it. Need to get some more alpha glass. And figure out what to do in these little gaps. Not sure. Alright. What is it, Hermes? Oh, it is getting close to food time, isn't it? Thank you for letting me know. Was it smooth? Or was it brick? It was brick. Did that with the smooth on the top and the bottom. And I'll need to make more brick. And then that's the spots for that. Elf glass. Woohoo! Thank you for the follow! I appreciate it. Thank you. Put the cobble away. That'll free up our inventory a little bit. Let's get 3 stacks of mana glass. Is that all one word? We gotta spell it right. There we go. We'll automate this eventually too. Did you know you're famous, Hermes? Hi on Muffins, thank you for the follow. Oh, and you're adorable. Yes, you're adorable too. All right. He wants to be extra famous today. All right. I'm so getting happy that this is getting done. Oh, it'll be so much nicer walking around my base with finished build areas instead of just the cave walls. Oh, it'll be so nice. Oh, and this looks so good. We just need a ceiling and figure out what this... Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy. This seems a little dark yet. Is it just because of the blocks I'm using? I think so. So we need to do that side. This actually breaks right into... right here is access to the underground river system that we have. Is like there's a connection right here. Not that I would ever need to come into the base from there, but yeah. And we need to bury these so we don't see them. Haven't done that yet. We did a little bit of that a couple of streams ago because we had some coming down here and up there and whatnot, but I haven't done a whole lot more beyond that to hide the line. You can probably... No, I was gonna say every so often you might actually see the corporeal spark twinkle, but nope. Probably because I hit it with the phantom, so it's that bright instead of that bright. There's one here too. Can you see it every once in a while? Yeah. Where are we on? We have 22 levels, so I can't do any book crafting. Which, by the way, I have been working on that. Every time I get levels, I've told you I'm working on getting all the enchanted books at the max enchant tier, because it's part of the advancements. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more books to get. I need Feather Falling 4, Thorns 3, Frostwalker 2, Curse of Binding, which I think I can only get from loot. Sharpness 5, Smite 5, Sweeping Edge 3, Infinity, Luck of the Sea 3, and Mending. Those are the books I do not have. Hi Ben, nice to see you. And once I have those books, I will need to get my Lunium set up, which we need a lot more mana than we're making right now to run a Lunium as well. When I get a Lunium set up, I'll be able to get the tomes. These, and when I collect these, I will be able to pair them with the matching protection and upgrade it one more. So instead of protection 4 being the maximum enchant, you'll be able to get protection 5. So, you know, instead of Thorns 3 being the maximum, it'll become Thorns 4, that sort of thing. And that is in our advancements tab right here. Collect every kind of music disc. We haven't done that yet either. I have not made the whatever saddle mod is in there. I have not even learned about it. So I haven't relocated a spawner. A creeper spawner. I haven't found these two spawners I've not found. So I've not looked for them either. So there's that. Alright, we're gonna put that stuff away. And you... Okay. What to work on build-wise now? I might do... How do you do these blocks? We can finish out the Spectralist room. It's just slabs. Oh, well. Okay. Get those. Okay. Because if we just finish it out, I could potentially add more color.
They talk about another kind of world.
What are you afraid of?
Spell it right. Living rock. I might be able to do some of the oh, we could do mossy. cracked is mixed with cobblestone, right? Yep.
There goes nothing.
I have anything in here? I have stairs. A lot. Just add a border. That would give it some interest. We're gonna do this wall first. All right. Let's figure this out. I've already figured out I want a Terra Shatterer because I could at least do a 3x3 with it and would make this go a little faster.
They talk about another kind
Oh,
of
shoot. Found the water.
What are you afraid of?
over the lost and old ways.
Alright.
I'm not afraid.
Okay. Alright, so let's figure this out here. First, put the light back. Second, we did that. Can we rotate the frame stairs so that they're vertical? That's what I want to know. So that we could do them up this way. I suppose it's worth finding out. Block craftery. Make just that many for now. I think they just work like ordinary stairs. That's possible. I just don't remember. We'll see. Okay, so yeah, they're just rotating on there. Okay. Well, worth knowing. So a wall slab. There's a slab. I don't know if, and there's walls. I don't think the slab goes vertical, and it wouldn't look the same. Like I said, I don't want anything super fancy because this is what I want to showcase. This is what I want. So the rest of the room, I don't want anything super fancy. what will we put in those corners? Sure. That'll work for me. There's the start. We do need to go up another like 5 blocks. But there's the start of what will be a very simple looking room on that side. And I'm actually happy with that. I'm going to duplicate this bar at the very top as well. Alright, so... Yep. Okay, so we need to get up there. And I need to consider where that ceiling's going to be because I don't want to see the grass. So maybe this will be the highest we go. Right there. So here and here will be the living rock. There. And then that needs to be regular living rock tucked back here. And this will be fitted. Fitted stone. Okay. Ah, it's raining. It's actually warm enough to rain here. That's awesome. Anyone watch any good TV lately? I am currently marathon watching The Umbrella Academy on Netflix and am really enjoying it. And by marathoning, I mean yesterday I watched 8 episodes. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in front of the TV yesterday watching it. It's really awesome. And Edward and I are also marathon watching the Game of Thrones again, you know, because the final season is going to be out before you know it. So we are rewatching all of that. And I guess you can call that marathon watching too, because we're down to the wire here. I think there's only 5 weeks until the final season starts, and we have a lot. We're in the tail end of season 2 for our rewatch, so we still have a lot of that to watch. You don't plan on watching Game of Thrones, Owen? That's okay. We've been watching it since the beginning, so yeah. I also read the books. Oh. I'm gonna need to make more stairs. Whoops! Where did that come from? Oh, it must have fallen. I know Edward has watched it, and that is why I'm watching it. It's because he's like, that was really good. He actually watched it all in one day, too. He marathon watched it. So, yeah. I'm like, tell me how good it was. Alright. Alright. So that's going to be our ceiling of some sort, some description. I need to figure out what I'm going to do here where it becomes where it crosses over from the hallway. I'm not sure. What to do there yet, but we can take this out. And do the same on the other side. Can't reach you. Alright. Yep, that does what I want it to. It's plain, so your eye is still drawn here, but it looks finished. So yay. Yay for finished. Let's do this side here, and we'll have to leave that alone until I know what I'm doing with the hall. But we'll do this side. I think that's as high as that needs to go. Looks like it. So we need to put living rock there, and I only have one. So we'll have to get back up there at some point. And that'll be another figure that out when we have what we need. Okay. Let's grab another piece of living rock to finish that spot. Otherwise, I bet it'll be something that will just be there. Heard good things about Captain Marvel? Yes, I went and saw that, so I agree. Good movie. Alright. There and there. Ugh. And there. Okay, so that feels good. Again, ceilings are something I'm not sure what I'm going to do in the ceiling. And what do we do here? Like I said, it might be worth bringing that teal color into the roof somehow. Maybe just by using the cyan wool as like a stripe down the middle. Yeah, I'll have to see. Yeah, money is definitely a challenge for us as well. I've hung on to the money that for the movie tickets. We wanted it pretty badly. Oh. it is time for me to go feed the kitty cats. I will be back in about 5 minutes, so don't go anywhere, folks. Stay tuned.